So it's recording so that we make sure we record, because we have a lot of people who are going to be attending, watching the recording of this. So I want to value everyone's time. So I am going to go ahead and get started. It looks like our March 29th to April 9th dates are the most popular at the moment. I'm also live streaming this on Facebook. So if anybody's watching on Facebook, I cannot check on Facebook. I can't check the questions on Facebook right now, but you can post the questions and I will respond on Facebook to those later. All righty, so let's get started. I'm really super excited about this program. For those of you who don't know me, let me introduce myself a little bit for a minute. I'm Elizabeth Porter. In 2016, I launched a school called Bon Voyage World Languages Academy. We are a K-12 language school. We started out with just French because I'm a French teacher. And we've had a travel program with Cavilem in France, in Vichy, France. I've done it for 15 years almost, but then we've done it with the school since the school opened. We just also launched a program in Spain for students, and then this year Senegal is like my dream, and so I said this is the year I'm going to make it happen. And I found out about Baobab Consulting. They do a lot of different types of trips. And I found out that there was a teacher trip, and there were a lot of people who were wanting to do a teacher trip to Senegal. So I have been working with Baobab Consulting to work on this. And now the travel programs are no longer through Bon Voyage. They're through my education company that I launched called Language with the Five Senses. And there's a lot of reasons we did it that way. But one of them is that we restructured Bon Voyage. So I don't own it anymore. It's a nonprofit. And so that's one of the reasons why we had to put the travel programs with them. So anyway, I'm going to get started. I'm going to share the screen here. And for those of you who are popping in, like I said, feel free to go ahead and use the hand raise or whatever you want to do. You can type in the chat, although I cannot see the chat anymore now that I'm screen sharing. So you may need to raise your hand. Let me see if I can do this. Okay. Oh, there we go. I got it. Okay, I can see the hands raised now. Okay, so these are our partners here for the travel programs. I've been running the program in France. I've been doing for about 15 years, like even when I was back in a classroom teacher, I was doing that. And then when I opened the school, I integrated the travel program with Cavilem in there. So they're our oldest partner. We are official school partners with Cavilem. They are our sister school in France. And then obviously Bon Voyage World Languages Academy, we are official partners with Language with the Five Senses Education. Hola Spanish Immersion is our new partner in Spain. We are so excited about that. Unfortunately, we are not going this year because of COVID. It's been canceled, but we do have a couple of students that were slated to go this year that are going next year. And then we have Baobab Consulting, which is our newest partner, and it's super exciting because all they do is Africa. They do Senegal specifically. And I've had a really great time working with Danielle and Liz from Baobab. They're just amazing. And I wrote a Senegal country study. So everybody that signed up today, I'm going to send you the country study because I'm so proud of it. It's in English. It's not in French, unfortunately, because there's a couple of reasons why it's in English right now, but it will be in French soon. Okay, so we've got the first thing I'm going to talk about is our stage linguistique et pédagogique at Cavilem. So this is by far the best professional development that I've ever done in my entire life. This is how I found out about Cavilem, was at a conference back in 2004. And I went to Cavilem a couple of years later, and it was by far the best professional development I've ever done in my life. So basically they have, I'm going to show you some examples of some of the classes they have, but they're incredible. And this is how I kind of started with language with the 5 senses and the way that I teach. And it was a huge eye opener for me. Oh, Lori says I studied there in college in 19. Yes, they have been around forever, Lori. That's true. They have. They've been around since 1960. And I've done the Master FLE there. And they are absolutely incredible. So it's just an amazing place to go. So they have 2 different programs for teachers. They have the stage linguistique, which is to improve your language skills. And then they have the pédagogique, which is like all of their teaching strategies, all of the stuff. And Michel Boiron, who is the director, he's just incredible, absolutely incredible. I did a whole workshop on Le Lièvre, which is a story by Léopold Sédar Senghor. That was a mouthful. Who, was the first president of Senegal, and it was amazing. It was amazing. So what you get when you go, it's a week, so it would be 5 days of classes and activities, and then you would get a few days on either end. And so you can choose either linguistic or professional course. It would be any week in July that you choose. So you can pick any of the weeks in July 2022. And of course, all of our programs at Bon Voyage are all inclusive. So that means that everything is covered. So airfare, accommodation. So at Cavilem, you can pick, as a teacher, you can pick a host family or an apartment. Either way. And then all of the program at Cavilam, which includes all of the classes, all of the excursions or cultural activities. And I'll give you some examples of what those are. Meals, ground transport, that means airport transfers, round trip train to Vichy, all of that. And then you get lunch daily. And if you stay in a host family, you actually also get breakfast and dinner daily. So if you stay in a host family, all of your meals are covered. So these are some sample course offerings at Cavilam. Enseigner le français avec les 5 sons. That is one that I helped design. So I'm very attached to that course. Michel Boiron is amazing, and he did a really great job with that as well. Comprendre la société française d'hier à aujourd'hui. Créer un projet radio pour la classe avec RFI. So they work with TV5 Monde, and they also work with RFI, and they work and they do a lot with like current events. They do a lot with media and music and everything that would motivate kids, right? And then some of the activities that they have bread baking sometimes. They've got the regional food and wine tasting. They've got trips to Lyon. They've got trips to the day trips to Lyon. They've got, I can name it all. They've got movie nights. They've got discotheque on Friday nights. They've got, you can go hike the Puy de Dôme, which is the volcanoes there that are now a UNESCO heritage site. They've got all sorts of different activities that you can choose from. And we design your activity program based on the group that's going and what you want to see and what you want to do. Okay, so now let's get to Senegal, because everybody wants to know about Senegal. And if you have any questions, again, please feel free to put that hand up or type something in the chat or the Q&A, and I'd be happy to answer your questions. All right, so Senegal for French teachers. This is a This is, I don't even have words because I'm so excited for this. I actually am supposed to go, I was supposed to go last month to Senegal, and Africa's open. The borders are open in Africa. Senegal is open. Americans can go there. My son is very, very ill right now and has been in the hospital since January 7th. So I didn't get to go to Senegal, but I did reschedule for October. So I'm actually going to go over. I'm in the process. I had a phone call earlier with a school that we're working to partner with over there. It's a dual language school, so English and French. So there's a bilingual school. It's a Montessori school, and it's their equivalent of preschool through 12th grade. So so we're working on that. And it also is an opportunity for teachers to go visit the school to see how this school operates, to see how the Senegalese school system works and all of that. So our Senegal for French teachers is going to be 10 days. You don't have to be actively teaching in the classroom. You don't even have to be a French teacher really, but it's going to be French teacher focused. And it's going to be all in French. So it's going to be complete French immersion and cultural immersion. And also we're going to do some professional development activities, as well as touring around Senegal. Baobab does a very, very good job. Sorry, I think my dog's about to bark over here in the background. So Baobab does a very good job. They do all sorts of different groups, and I'm really excited to work with them. It will be spring break 2022. So simultaneously with the teacher program, we will also be running our student program there. So we will have hopefully a group of students. Somebody said, I don't have much time off for spring break. Do you think that Baobab will be flexible and allow an early arrival or early departure? My spring break is March 26th to April 3rd. I don't think my school would allow me to have more than one, maybe 2 extra days off. That's a great question. I'm not really sure. The reason why I chose the dates that I presented was because of airfares. I don't think that they would have an issue with it. The reason why we do the airfares together normally is that way. So language with the 5 senses, we have a contract that we've had for probably 10 years with Delta Airlines. And we used to in the past have people, let people arrive or leave later or arrive earlier. So right now we let people leave later, but arriving earlier, we used to let them do that. And the problem is, and we also used to let people do their own airfare. The problem with that is that if there is an issue where somebody is delayed or going to be, or there's a cancellation for some reason, say there's a weather problem, I mean, it doesn't matter, you can name all sorts of things. We on our end at Language with the 5 Senses cannot mitigate that if it was booked not with the group, and even, through a different airline. So we've done it so that it's just way easier to mitigate if everybody is, if we book the airfare and everybody's arriving and it's organized and we're not having to wait on, certain people, or if something happens, then we know to wait. We're not always made aware of things when we are not the ones who made the reservations. I think an early departure would be easier to do than an early arrival. That's my guess. For us, that would be easier to do. As far as those dates, the reason why I chose the dates I did is because right now they're posting cheaper than some of the other dates, and I'm very good at finding the exact dates that will bring airfares down. I'm happy to look at those dates that you proposed, and I have written them down. So I hope that helps answer your question. So included with this is airfare, hotel. There is an option for teachers to stay with host families. Baobab, we discussed that with Liz and Danielle, who are from Baobab, and they have said, and I've said in the past that most of the time teachers, when they go to France, I have very few that want to stay with host families. Most want to stay in the apartment. And so it's definitely something that we can discuss if teachers want host families. The students will be with host families, but teachers, we have organized hotels for right now. All tours and cultural excursions, professional activities, all of that, everything. And meals are included, as well as ground transport, all of the transportation. Once we get to Senegal, it's all included. The only thing that is not included is your extra spending money if you want to buy things extra to take home with you, and tips. So that is, that's okay. So would it be possible to stay with the host family one night just for the experience? Also, are all our activities done with the students group? Are these separate groups? Okay, those are great questions. Excellent. So I will ask about the host family for one night to get the experience. I am not sure. That is a question for Baobab. We have a little bit of a different role. So I take care of all this stuff on this side, and they take care of all the stuff on that side. I'm going to ask for you and find that out. That's a great question. As far as are the activities done with the student group? Probably not. There may be a couple of activities with the student group, but most likely no. They will be separate for the most part. Great question. Okay, so some of the sample activities, this is a sample itinerary for Senegal that they had done in the past. This is pretty close, probably pretty close to the itinerary that I'm going to choose. So the only difference might be that the public boarding school for girls on Gorée, I don't know if we'll do that because we have a different partnership with a different school. But we may, I don't know. So there's a lot of, leisure time, but there's a Wolof lesson. There's a lunch at a family house in Senegal, talking about education in the household, L'Ampoule Desert, Pink Lake, Saint Louis is a very historical town outside of Dakar. The other one that I might request is there's a wildlife refuge there that I think would be amazing to see, but it really just depends. This is going to be tailored towards the group. And so once we have our group of registered people, I will go back in and we will discuss what are the things that we want to do, see what are the outcomes of this. But the biggest takeaway from this today is that this is going to be a completely immersive experience. We want you to feel like you have really lived Senegalese culture in a way that's meaningful and that you can take back to your students and share with them. So any questions on that? Okay, so both programs are going to be $4,500, and that is with everything included. Like I said, airfares, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about airfares. Here's some information on how you can register. Oh, there's another question. Do you have an approximate idea as to when the dates will be finalized? I am going to look at what everybody answered today. And then I will probably finalize the dates in the next few days. And it looks like most people are saying March 29th to April 9th, but there's a lot of people who are going to be watching this afterwards. And I'm going to get all the poll answers, and then I will make a determination on the dates. based on what is the most popular. Yeah, great question. So to register, you can go to the website languagewiththefivesensescheaters.com. You can choose, so we have a program in that's put in place, it's been in place for several years now, where you can travel for free with Language with the Five Senses. And a lot of places do this. So here's the difference between Language with the Five Senses and some other companies, larger companies that are out there. It's me, basically just me. And it's small and everything is tailored to you. And when you don't have to travel with your students if you don't want to. I have so many teachers who are like, I don't want to go, but I want my students to go. I don't want to go though. So I don't want to be responsible for them during the school year. And then I have other teachers that say to me, oh, our school district won't allow international travel. Well, that's great because you can send them to me and we have kids from all over the place going. And so you don't have to worry about that. But if you do want, if 6 of your students register in any of our student programs, and it doesn't even have to be the same one, you can have 2 in Senegal and 2 in France and 2 in Spain. It doesn't matter. Any of our student programs, then you can travel with them on that program for free, or you can choose either of the teacher programs. And our teacher programs are new this year. So that's an option if you want to do that. And in order to, what you have to do is you have to have me come in and speak to your students about the program, and then 6 of your students register, and then you get registered for the program that you want. And more information is if you scan this QR code right here, then you can sign up to have more information on that. Any other questions really fast? I'm going to just check here. Okay. So if you would like to register for Senegal or France or both, or you would like to know more information about traveling for free with Language with the Five Senses, you can go here, languagewiththefivesensescheaters.com/teacher travel. And there's all sorts of information on my website. You can also scan the QR code. If you have questions, you can email me at lw5s@bvwla.com. And I'm happy to answer any of your questions. Like I said, both programs for 2022 are $4,500. There is a $500 registration fee that is included in the $4,500. So it's not in addition to, it is included. And then all of our travel is secure. So a lot of people have been asking, what about COVID? Honestly, okay, so Africa's open. I am almost 100% certain that the EU will not be able to sustain 1, let alone 2 summers without tourism. And so by 2022, I am positive. In fact, a lot of people are speculating that it will be in the 4th quarter of this year. So probably in September timeframe when the EU will open. But your travel is secure with us. So that means that if COVID makes us cancel, we will postpone to the next set of dates. And because we have the agreement that we have with Delta, your tickets will be held for longer than they would normally. So we have a very excellent relationship with Delta Airlines, and they have been more than accommodating for our students for this year. I just canceled all their plane tickets today. Actually, it was pretty sad. I was crying. But their tickets are held. So we are in very good shape as far as that goes. So that is the information that I have for you about the program in Senegal. Like I said, I'm extremely excited about it. I'll be running the the student program probably at the same time as the teacher program. But since I have other staff that can be with the students, I travel on every program that we've got. And so I will probably join the teachers for some of it and the students for other parts of it. Is there a limit to how many people can go? That is an excellent question. Yes, we have 15 spots. We need to have a minimum of 10, so we can't go with less than 10. We may be able to get away with 9 or 8, but Baobab has given us 10, and then our limit is 15. So yes, great question. Excellent, excellent question. Thank you for asking that, Lori. Are there any other questions that you have right now for me? Yeah. Oh, I got some more questions in here. Oh, I did answer these. Okay. Anyone else? All right, so I see that we have a couple of people who haven't filled out the poll. So if you can't see the poll, I would encourage you to fill that out so I know which dates are the most popular for this, and I will adjust accordingly. I will talk to you about Airfare. So I went asking for an older friend, how intense are the activities? In Morocco, we built a house and it was hard. Yeah, we're not going to be building a house. Don't worry. There won't be any house building. Let me go back to the sample activities. So it's going to be like, you know, a pirogue trip across the lake, lunch, going to see the monument de la Renaissance, you know, going swimming in the Atlantic, cultural lessons, dinner at the beach, you know, so I don't think it's going to be too terribly strenuous. I think it's, you know, and like I said, that's something that we can take into account because this is going to be tailored for the actual group. So that's a great question. Thank you for that. Just as far as airfare goes, I'm really careful with airfare. So I went to go book tickets for Senegal, rebook my tickets for Senegal for October. And so I booked mine, and then I went to go a couple days later, I decided I wanted to take my kids. So I went to go book their tickets, and I had been watching airfares, and the airfare for them, it's a long, complicated story, but I called because I had to do something special with their tickets because I had a credit on my one son's ticket, but I didn't have a credit on a Delta credit for another one, my other son. And so for some reason they're having an issue. And so they told me I had to call back later. So I called back again. And in that hour between the first time I called and the last time and the second time, it had gone up $400. So is the airfare from New York City, or is it the same price no matter where your home airport is? Great question, Lori. So I am doing it from wherever you are, wherever your home airport is. And so it's right now, for example, I'm on the West Coast right now. It's pricing out at almost $1,900, and that's going from New York, from Seattle to New York, and then New York to Dakar. And when I looked, it was $1,600 it was like a little bit cheaper, you know, not very much. So right now I just have it set at one price. And I think if there's a humongous difference between East and West, then I'll probably address that. But usually it ends up evening out depending on, you know, because we are on a group ticket. So it just ends up evening out anyway. So that's a great question. All right. I hope that helps. Any other questions? But yeah, I couldn't believe that it was, you know, went up $400 in an hour. And a lot of times you fly like over by New York, but then it takes you back through Paris on the way back, which is kind of strange. Like I couldn't get anything back coming back from through New York. It was going back through Paris. But like I said, I'm really good at working with them at Delta to get us the best itinerary possible for our group. So yeah. Okay, well, just gonna take a look and see if there are any other questions in here. Anyone else? Okay, so if nobody else has any other questions, like I said, you can go ahead on the website to register, and we do have a limit of 15. So go ahead and, like I said, you know, if you have like friends who would want to go or whatever, that's fine. You don't have to necessarily be a teacher, but it's going to be very French teacher oriented, and it's going to be all in French. So I would say whoever goes needs to speak French, because we're not going to be speaking a lot of English while we're there. It's going to be a completely immersive experience. If you have questions, please feel free to email me. I'm usually pretty quick with email. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing all of you in Senegal in 2022. Have a wonderful afternoon and evening, no matter where you are. Thank you so much and have a great day.